Hey everybody, welcome back to Vedic Numerology. I'm so glad you're here. So today I am super excited to show you how to do the Vedic Grid within numerology. This is the basis for understanding someone's life, their karmas, and then also to make predictions. So it's a really cool thing and it is unique to Vedic numerology. So let's get started. Before we do, I did want to say that if you are interested in more videos on my channel, please subscribe. And also if the video is good for you, please give it a thumbs up. For private consultations, you can click the link in my bio, which is vedicnumerology.com. Okay, here we go. So the Vedic Grid is really simple. And the reason that I want to show you this is because I just want to pass on the wisdom of Vedic numerology to you, right? Because it's just a way to understand your life, to see what's coming up and to guide you whenever you may feel lost or you're trying to understand, yourself better or someone in your life better. So this is how you do it. I think it's so cool because everywhere I go, I always am like asking people what their birthday is, because I just want to get a sense of who they are. Just because I've been doing this for a while, like they'll tell me their birthdays and I can put the numbers, in my mind and learn a lot about who someone is. Or if you're, watching a cool show on TV and then you want to know more about that actor, you just look up their birthday and you can understand so much from their grids. Okay, so we use this based on a person's entire date of birth. Now, irrespective of what numbers someone has in their birth, the numbers I'm going to show you have to go in a certain spot all the time, even if one of the numbers is absent from somebody's date of birth. Okay, so the 1 will always go here. The 1 is the sun, known as Surya in Vedic numerology. Then the 2 will go here. The 2 is the moon, which is Chandra. The number 3 is Jupiter, Guru. And then number 4 will always be down here, and that is Rahu, which is also known as the north node of the moon within Western astrology. Then 5 is here, which is Mercury or Bud. 6 is Venus. 6 will always go here, Venus. And then 7 will go here. 7 is Ketu. A quick word about number 7. Number 7, which Ketu, the south node of the moon, stabilizes a grid. And so it is highly important, obviously, because it's in the middle, but it stabilizes a person's life. And so when somebody has one number 7 within their grid, that really goes a long way to stabilizing their life. Now, we'll talk later about what happens if there's multiple numbers. I'll do that in another video. Because it will fundamentally change a person, but 1, 7 is ideal. Then we have 8. 8 is represented by Saturn, and then number 9 will go up here, and 9 is Mars or Mongol. Okay, so each of these things, it may not look like a lot, but every line going, in any direction means something. So this line up here, the 319, this is the spiritual plane. Okay, then the 675 line is known as the mental plane or the worldly plane. The reason being is because it can really speak to a person's ability to appreciate the finer things in life, the materialistic things within life. And then the 284 plane is the physical plane. This plane is a reference to the hard work and the struggles that we will encounter within this life, right? And so if a person has no numbers within the 284 plane, it doesn't necessarily mean that they don't work hard. They often do later in life have to work hard, but oddly enough, this is the material plane, that shows material desires, but people that are actually missing numbers from the 284 are actually very spiritual because they don't have numbers grounding them within this life to to want to put in that hard work because they would actually rather be somewhere else, in a different dimension. Okay, so the 362, this is the plane of thought. And if you think about it, it's because, we have the moon here and Jupiter here. Those are both, expansive planets. It really speaks to someone's thought. The 178 is going to be the social action plane. So these people, it's not necessarily, that they're social and chatty, but they want to put in work to help others. They are very oriented towards helping others. This is also a yoga for luck within life. Okay, and then the final plane is 954. This is the plane of action. Okay, so that's what everything represents. And when you see within someone's grid, if they have, one of these completed planes, it really speaks a lot about who they are. And I will do another video that goes into more of the yogas because there are a lot of them, but I think we'll just keep it short for this video. Okay, so let's take a birth number and I will show you how to plug everything in. Okay, so I'm just gonna really quickly draw another grid right here to put the numbers in so that you can remember where they go. 319, 675, and then the 4, the 8, and the 2. Okay, so right wherever someone's date of birth is, wherever the numbers are, they always have to be within this grid. It does not change. So let's take May 16th, 1999 for the person's date of birth. Okay, and here's how you do the grid. We're going to draw it and every number is going to go in. I apologize. I have the worst penmanship in the world and that actually does show in my grid why it's so bad. I have horrible handwriting. Okay, so May is number 5. The 5 is going to go here. We have a 1 and a 6. Let's plug those in here. And if you watched one of my other videos about the destiny number and the birth number, we have to plug in the birth number and the destiny number into these grids. The birth number, again, if you didn't see that video, is just 1 plus 6. We add a 7. Notice there's a plane already forming here. And then 1999 for the grid, we don't put in the century, so it's just going to be the 9 and the 9. They have 2 9s. And then we have to take their destiny number, which is the entire date of birth added up. So the 5, the 1, the 6, the 1999. Again, when we're doing the destiny number, we do include the century for that. And so this is going to come to 4. Their destiny number is a 4. And now we can start analyzing the grid. I will make other videos on how to really get into the analysis, but I just want to show you, what we can see really quickly. If, someone was like, oh, tell me about my, my numbers, who am I? We can look. The most prominent thing that I see right away are these 2 yogas are being formed. One is for the mental worldly plane. The other one is for the plane of action. So these people can enjoy the finer things in life, right? That is there. They do have a 6, so they can appreciate beauty. They're missing the 3 and the 2 within their grid. So there's going to be some problems within their family life. Life is not always simple and easy for them, but they will be running. I'll show you later on how to do something called the dashas. And the dashas are planetary time periods that we run that really pinpoint the predictions, but this is the basis. We have to learn how to plug the original numbers in before we move on to the dasha. When they do run the dasha of the 3 or the 2, family life will really improve. Again, they see the beauty. They do have this stabilizing number within their grid, so they're able to handle things that come up without becoming totally anxiety prone. And then they have this right here, the 954, which is the yoga of action. So they are willing to take action in life for what it is that they want. And because number 4, Rahu, is part of this, they are actually going to be very good at business. They're going to, they have 2 9s, so they're capable of going after what they want. But because this number 3 is missing up here, they're not going to always be able to achieve the success that they are really wanting from their professional life. And then also they are a humanitarian. They have 2 nines, so they can be a little bit volatile when things, go wrong. They may say some words that are harsh because we have Mars and Mercury are coming together here. So there can be some harshness in their speech. They're going to go after what they want, but they do need to watch their temper. The other thing is they just have number 1. And so this is really good because 1, as I mentioned in another video, is great. It gives you a sense of self. It gives you a sense of ego, right? Because we need to have an ego to be able to do well in this life and not just fall apart when someone critiques us or is unkind to us. But so that's really good. And then they have this number 7 stabilizing the grid. So this is actually it's a yoga for luck. They are missing this 8 down here, so that's good. Things in life aren't going to be so hard for them. So then when they do, when they run a dasha of number 3 of Jupiter, they're going to notice their family life gets better because they'll have a 3 and a 6. And, the person that they meet during this time could be a very good person because a 3 and a 6 speaks to a spouse that can be a good person. And then they'll also achieve business success. And so this is just a quick thing that I wanted to show you how we can make predictions within Vedic numerology. And so I just really encourage you to practice doing your own grid and the grids of your friends and family. So remember, just a quick recap, when you're doing the grid, you're going to want to start with all of the numbers in your date of birth, right? Let's just go over it one more time with a number. Let's do July 15th, 1943, right? So the 7 is going to get plugged in, the 1 and the 5. We have to add the birth number, and that's adding these 2 numbers together. That's a 6. Notice again, this person has this mental grid. And then we don't take the century to do the plugins, and then add a 4 and a 3. Right? We can tell right away they have this grid for professional success in their life. And then the destiny number is all the numbers. Make sure you add in the century number. So we've got 10, 14, 17, so 30 is their destiny number. We can only take one number. And then we're going to add in a 3. So their destiny number is a 3. So I think that's all for today. Maybe just, start practicing your own grid and get comfortable with filling in the numbers. And then I'll put this back up in case you want to do a screenshot. Again, this is what, all the planets represent, and then the planes. And then I will be back with another video really soon showing you how to do the mahadasha and the antardasha, which is the actual pinpointing of predictions in my next video. Let me know if you have any questions. And again, if you're interested in booking a consultation, you can reach me at brooknumerology.com. Thanks so much. Bye.